So this is the Celestron 102 AZ StarSense telescope. I got this a few weeks ago. It was easy to put together. I was distracted, so while being distracted, it took me about 45 minutes to 50 minutes to put it together. So if you're not being distracted, it'll take you about 20 minutes to do it. Easy to do. Everything's pretty sturdy. There's really nothing tinny about this setup, the stand, or the telescope. And I paid around 400 bucks for it at Best Buy. I really wanted to get the 130 AZ that has the eyepiece higher up, but after waiting for a couple weeks, it still wasn't showing on the website. But this one was available, and since I had the $400 gift certificate, I went ahead and purchased this. And this is the 102 millimeter, but I'm happy with it. I've used it a few times now, and I've got the moon up here, so I'm going to do a little demonstration. And this is just coming from an absolute amateur when it comes to telescopes. I've never owned a telescope. It's my first telescope. I know nothing about telescopes except for what I've been reading the last few months. So this isn't, I'm not really making this to compare with any other telescope. So this is more for me to just demonstrate my experience with this scope as a first-time telescope owner. I know there's much more expensive scopes out there that will pretty much allow you to look at the fine particles of dust on the moon up close. This one doesn't do that, but it gives you a really cool view regardless. So if you're just an amateur looking to have a basic non-expensive scope, again, this was around 400 bucks, then I do recommend this from my experiences with it thus far. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the Celestron app. It does work very well. So when I first touched the Celestron icon, this is what comes up. The moon is bright in the sky tonight. This will affect StarSense Explorer's ability to find objects in the region of sky near the moon. We recommend selecting objects to view that are not located near the moon. Okay. So you have to get this thing calibrated when you first go to it. And you do that by going to this button right here. The little swishy with the star, the Celestron little icon. And it'll say, StarSense, is your iPhone still aligned with the telescope? Still aligned? Needs alignment. Well, I haven't aligned it since last time I used it a few days ago, so I will click needs alignment. And so now what they want you to do, and they suggest you do this during the daytime, you know, find a distant object. I'm going to go ahead and use that light right there. So what I'm going to do is pointing at this light that's right over there. And once you've got your telescope pointed at it, then you want to also find it on the app on the phone. So the phone is going to see that same reflection on the mirror. So I just adjusted it with the knobs under the phone because it was a little bit too high, and when I lowered the phone a little bit in the little cradle, now you can see the same lights. So what you want to do is make center camera over the mirror, which I've done, and click next. And now it wants you to put that light in the middle of the crosshairs there, the same light you're looking at through the telescope right there. And then press done. Ready to locate objects. To begin, point telescope towards a clear patch of sky with the stars. Wait for red bullseye to turn yellow, then follow direction arrows to target. When bullseye turns green, look through eyepiece. The status bar at the top of the screen provides additional guidance. And I'm going to click OK. So what I'm going to do is, let's look for the moon, even though I know it's right above us. So I pressed a little search icon. Moon and planets. I'm going to select moon and planets. Let's do the moon. All right, and now I'm gonna click on this on the bottom left where it says locate. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on that. All right, and now you see the arrows are telling you where to move the scope. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the scope until we are pointed at the moon. And once we get close to it, then we'll want to use the fine tuning handles. So, all right, so let's go. All right, so it just changed. Telescope position found. Follow location arrows to line up bullseye on target. Finding telescope. Okay, so on target object. So now I'm going to use, now this is when you want to use the fine tuning handles. So I'm turning, then I'm going to lower with the second handle. Oops. All right, now we wait. Finding telescope position, telescope on target. Look through eyepiece. To select a new object, tap one in the sky chart or the star icon. So I'm going to go ahead and look through the eyepiece. All right, so I'm looking through the eyepiece, and it's not 100% in the middle aligned. So at this point, you want to use your little knobs. So let's see here, your little fine tuning handles. Okay, now the moon is directly in the eyepiece. It's out of focus, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my little knobs to focus the moon. All right, now we have a great shot of the moon. I'm gonna go ahead and try and give you guys a view here. Obviously, it's not the same as putting your eye in. And this is the 25mm eyepiece. Let me go ahead and switch it out to the, okay, so I've got the 10mm eyepiece on now. That also came with the telescope. And I'm gonna see if I can't put the camera up here. Wait for it, wait for it. So this is with the 10mm eyepiece. Alright, just going to try and get some video of the moon here. I've got my iPhone XR zoomed in. That's pretty good. I'm actually using my right hand to adjust the fine tuning while holding the phone with my left hand. I'm actually getting pretty decent at this. All right, so I'm back indoors now, and so here's the little knobs that you turn to adjust the phone over the mirror. I actually had it too high. I had it all the way there, and I think it was worked the way it should, lower about there. But anyway, this thing is super light. It's super easy to carry. Very light. And removing the telescope from the stand, also very easy. You just loosen this, and yeah, so you loosen that, and you definitely want to be using two hands. I'm obviously holding my phone with my left hand, because if you loosen this, this will just fall to the ground. So Anyway, I recommend this scope for any new telescope user, amateur. There's a lot out there, but for me, this works well enough for what I need. The eyepiece, if you have any serious issues with your back as far as stooping over, bending over, you might want to consider getting the 130, which is what I originally wanted to get, because the eyepiece is up higher. Because you will be, if you don't have a stool or something to sit on, you will be stooping over. You will be stooping over like that. So the stool definitely alleviates that issue. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.